Dushyant, Sridhar and Manish Purohit continue to be with us. Dushyant, I bring you in here quickly because do help us understand that, while of course Sanatana Dharma values all its gods or their manifestations and avatars, whether it's Krishna or Ganesha and any other god as well. But why do you think that Lord Ram unites the people like no other Lord does? The manner in which it has brought in these celebrations, these are not forced, these are devotion that you can see on the streets. What is it, do you think, about Lord Ram presently in 2024 that's bringing people together in such a manner?
Very few points that I would like to make to all your Astikas, your viewers. One, Rama is referred to as Dharmo Vigrahavan Adharma Viratim. He is the very personification of Dharma. And there are even commentaries to the Ramayana called Dharmakutam that gives an exposition of how Rama followed every Dharma. That said, Ramayanam, which is one of our Itihasas, is regarded as the Adi Kavyam, the first found literature which is revered in Sanatana Dharma is Ramayanam. It is called Adi Kavyam. So by being the first scripture, the first literature, the piece of Itihasa, it unites the different quarters of the world. And second thing, Ramayana was so inspirational that it even brought all the languages together. We have the Kamba Ramayanam in Tamil, we have Tunjattu Ramanuja Ezhuthachan's Ramayanam in Malayalam, we have Ranganatha and Mulla Ramayanam in Telugu, we have Kumara Valmiki's Ramayanam in Kannada, we have Kuvempu's Ramayanam in Kannada, we have Bhavati Ramayanam, Ekanathi Ramayanam in Marathi, we have Jaganmohana Ramayanam in Odia, we have Krittivasa's Bengali Ramayanam, we have Bhanu Bhaktacharya's Ramayanam of Nepali, we have Ramcharitmanas in Awadhi, we have Raghuvamsham of Kalidasa in Sanskritam, and we have a Kakavin Ramayanam in Javanese which was written 1400 years before, 500 years before even Cambridge and Oxford were born. And we have a Ramayanam in the Persian language. We have close to 300 Ramayanas. If there is one work that can unite languages, that can unite the pluralistic cultures, it is the Ramayana. And third important point, even in the 21st century, these ideals are important, where you respect your parents. I'm sure all of us want our children to respect us as parents, and we need to respect our parents. So this ideal, Atithi Devo Bhava, the way he treated Guha in Shringiverapura, the way he treated Sugriva in Kishkindha, the way he treated Vibhishana in Lanka, is an exemplification of how you treat your guests. And most important point, how do you move with people irrespective of differences in economic strata? Rama, who was the son of an aristocrat, a king, made friends with Vanaras, he made friends with Rakshasas, and in a very polygamous society, then he said, I will be monogamous, I will stick to this one wife policy, which was such a trendsetter in those days. So Rama in a way is the fulcrum of all dharmas that we need to adhere and follow in this Kali Yuga. And that is how Ramayanam is very relatable, very comprehensible and enjoyable even today. So if we are celebrating Rama's birthday today, it is just not another birthday where we cut the cake. It is about how he is going to lay the foundation of a beautiful civilization which is already there for the next 1000 years. When the Honorable Prime Minister talks, he says for the next 25 years we have to be a developed country.
Yes.
In the next 1000 years, this is how Bharata should be. And Rama, Ramayana and Ayodhya is going to be the very root of this particular movement, is what I humbly feel and honestly feel.
Beautifully said. And you also talked about how this was also a representation of the sort of idealism one needs to follow. How can one not mention then the Shabri ke Ber that he chose to eat? Wasn't that also a sort of messaging to bring forth all of us are equal and there are no differences? And these are reminders of what perhaps happened centuries ago, to have that civilizational memory and continue it here on as well. And this is what we've been blessed with in our country. Please stay on with me, Dushyant, because Manish Purohit continues to be with us. As a former ISRO scientist, Manish, when the world looks at it, do you think that there are also going to be as much wonder of something that has brought for this country or the people of this country or the Ram Bhakts, something that has happened centuries ago, and how they have continued to ensure that it not only evolves, but it continues as a faith with science, with spirituality, and it hasn't just gone into the end of time and forgotten, and the people continue to remember it and follow it?
Yeah, sometimes we need to, reawaken the forgotten texts. Sometimes we need that thing, and this moment will play a big role in that. Let's go back and just visualize when we talk about that, that's how it was done in that era. Means if they've done it using the optics, they knew the optics. If they had done that time, they knew how the alignment of the sun and the planet happens. And if that has been written in the text and has passed on for so many years, down to this present generation, when we go back and talk about archaeoastronomy, this means there has been a relation. There has been a relation when there was Vigyan, science, and there was spirituality, dharma and everything. So right now, at this moment, science is playing its role, where the spirituality is playing its role, and when both are combining together, they are bringing the nation together. And that is the biggest gain of this moment. When we are not talking about just science, we are not talking about just spirituality, we are talking about our nation as a one single entity which follows a faith, which believes in
and the nation that Lord Ram himself had taken the trajectory in. Manish, stay on with me, because as we stay with these visuals of the Surya Abhishek that has happened just about a short while ago, as Manish also rightly pointed out, sometimes you need that moment to reawaken that there are a lot of texts that have mentioned such great qualities and something that can be followed even in today's era, and it can move on with the modern times. And perhaps that's also significant, remember, whether as lessons to our children or whether as faith to follow, and follow it in the modern times with the modern era, with the science of that spirituality. And that perhaps is a reminder